Hi, this is Dee with Divine Needle and Divine L, and I'm re-recording this because I decided to pull some more cards, because this deck was screaming at me, um, during the reading that I did with this deck, and, it definitely tells a story, so I'm deciding to, uh, redo the reading. Anyway, so this is for August 31st, 2021. And, yeah, let's get into what the energy is. Um, the underlying energy was interesting. The cups to me is, they've been using it to talk about the virus, but, um, let's talk about the microcosm first. This is a whole lot of options to pick from, and you're having to try to choose wisely from those options. That's the underlying. So a lot of choice coming up for the collective. And that choice involves your earthly material possessions, right? Things you hold on to. This feels like kind of like house cleaning energy somewhat. And then resting after making those critical decisions about your emotional fulfillment. And the seeds you've planted are not ready to harvest yet. Success unfulfilled so far, right? So that means whatever you started here with this illusionary success is still not bringing what you're trying to succeed at, right? Your earthly power. Money in the bank, I just heard. Money in the bank. It's not bringing it. And this is on the microcosm, which brings you to the Cathedral of the Damned. Anxiety personified. Crap that keeps you up at night. This is probably, this can be like watching the evening news, them feeding you all kinds of horse crap that keeps you in this energy, and keeps you in fear mode, right? About all the different variants of the virus, because they do use the cups to talk about that. My team. To keep you chained and shackled, right? In fear. So that justice isn't served. But then we have the strength card right underneath that. Keeping you shackled. But there is light at the end of the tunnel, and guess what? A sword of truth. Destiny, clarity. So, and she's holding it. Trust me, justice will be served. Right now, the Lord of Karma in retrograde in Aquarius. That matters. On the microcosm, this is being able to move on. Some of you actually moving. But this is all mental energy, swords. The overall energy is all mental space. And the being able to move on from calmer waters, the underlying was all this, but you're moving on from that. They've used this card, the Eight of Swords, to try to convey about them wanting to tie people down and force the vaccinations on people. And this is the Knight of Swords coming in fast, right? With the truth about that. So I think a lot of this is the hocus pocus of the media in general on the macrocosm. But this is being able to move on after feeling very confined in some way. And with that movement is the Sword of Destiny, incoming truth and clarity. So incoming messages, notice he's facing the Seven of Cups. And so the truth about what these cups represent, right? The illusion, the media's illusion, or any other things that cloud our perception and our emotions. The highest priority is emotions overflowing. This could be talking about the particular variant that seems to be spreading across like wildfire. And having the patience, this is mixing the cups of hope and faith. We have a road we're going down and there's light down there. But maintaining balance and patience during that time frame. And this is a lot about self-care, self-love, and health. The taking care of ourselves in this plane to protect ourselves against the virus itself. There's a lot of things you can do, alternative things, not a doctor, just tidbits that you might be interested in. The strengthening and bolstering your immune systems using breathing techniques. Check out Wim Hof or others. And there's also a very interesting video that was put up yesterday by Tamu Angina, and she did a video with a doctor, a very highly educated doctor that no longer lives in the U.S., an expat that was speaking some truth. Anyway, I'll talk about that some more in another video on Divine Now. But anyway, things that you can do about your health and having the patience to stick through that, okay? That's your highest priority. And what to be mindful of, prepare for. The Hierophant, card of Taurus. And this reading is definitely pointing, because we do have the King of Pentacles here. It's pointing at Taurus itself, the sun sign. So if your sun sign is Taurus, or you have heavy Taurus placements, this is definitely about you. And successful completion of a cycle and brand new beginnings on the material plane. It also can speak to those of you that are in the spiritual realm for what you do for work. That is a successful completion and a new beginning. So for Taurus or people in the spiritual field. It also can be talking about the end of the current establishment, so to speak, established order, and brand new beginnings, and with the Ace of Pentacles. We have a lot of aces here with the Ace of Pentacles, and we have the Ace of Swords down here. It's here, and the Ace of Wands. So we have, and the Ace of Cups. We have all the aces. So a lot of brand new beginning energy. I pulled these cards out after the fact, after I did the reading, because I was like, I know there's more here. And, you know, the Sabian Mysteries picture, there was a lot of vertical, the two pictures for the sun in Virgo, 7-8 degrees area. There was a lot of vertical energy, parallel energy, like these swords, all these parallel lines. See that? Parallel lines of fire and air. That fire and air mixing equals, right? But this queen is super intuitive, and she goes after what she wants, and she doesn't let anything stop her. This is rushing out with what you're passionate about, and brand new passionate beginnings with this butterfly, very Phoenix rising, which is the death card here. And there's that sword of destiny, picking that sucker up with the truth, right? And transition energy, ending cycles, right? For Taurus, businessmen, right? This is the businessman of those kings. Very solid, steady, makes good decisions. But transitional energy in business is what I am getting. And offers coming in to two. Interesting. And the two are children, a boy and a girl. That fascinates me. And there we have our Ace of Cups again. So a lot of repeating aces happening. Let's see, let me go underneath. And yes, there we go. Wish fulfillment. This is emotional satisfaction on every level as an individual. Wish fulfillment, right? And the offer, the tiny offer coming in. What really stuck out to me, and you know, that's the microcosm. On the macrocosm, there's a lot of vertical energy happening. And it was that way in the Sabian Mysteries pictures too. A lot of vertical energy. Let me see if I can pull that up for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. Vertical and parallel energy. I will show you that real quick. So here we are. Virgo, 7-8 degrees. First dancing instruction. But what caught my eye is the parallel lines and almost like pointing up here. And then the buildings, the parallel lines going on here. That caught my eye. The other thing that caught my eye is there's like an eagle here, which would be representative of Gabriel, aka Jupiter. And you can see what looks like possibly a woman with, or man with, a kind of cloak on. You can see the shoulder here, V-neck. See the V-neck here? Their head looks like maybe a beard. I don't know. Looks like a crown possibly. And when I was sitting back, it looked like this is an arm and a head and a little body, like children wrapped around just under the thigh area of this person right here that felt very much like this Hierophant card to me. Anyway, so this vertical energies really got my attention. And when you mix air and fire, which that's a lot of what's going on here, this also feels like rain or cleansing energy, right? In the highest priority, like putting out the fire, so to speak. And all this vertical energy happening with the Queen. Well, first of all, these swords, but this Queen of Fire, Knight of Fire, and the Ace of Fire. Um, that's a lot of columnar fire energy mixed with this. And what stood out to me is you see with the Queen, there's fire back here in the background behind her feet. And then in the night, you see the sun rising over here in the side. See how most of the fire is over here on the side of the cards. And here, it's almost like growing fire, right? Growing. Parallel fire energy, which exposes a truth. And if you look at this mountain, see, you can see the mountain in the background. And this is like the close-up of this mountain here. This feels like a fire that's been put out on a mountain, basically. And what's left behind is bare earth, like exposing the truth, right? Exposing what's below. And the fire here, the parallel energy of the towers back here. So it almost feels like transitional energy for a businessman, a big businessman. And on the microcosm, this is more about you all, especially with heavy Taurus placements, doing what you do best as the businessman on the business end of things of the holodeck, the material things. But I wanted to get, I'm going to get a few more cards using the steampunk, this tiny one, to find out what all this vertical energy is about that exposes this truth. Causes a lot of destruction. I know we've had a lot of fires, but and I don't know if this is talking about them finally being extinguished, or that it uncovers something somehow. Yeah, the fire energy just kind of, and then you have this, right? So some sort of exposure of a businessman. This could be actually instructions to me, because I actually do have something I wanted to show you guys, exposing a businessman. And it could be what this is. Go after his ass. That's instructions for me, possibly. But also kind of a heads up for you all that this sword of destiny is coming for that. And you guys don't need to be scared about it, because it's not about you. This is about karma coming, a calling. Anyway, I have a feeling that's what this energy is about, but something exposing the truth, and I have a feeling that's just them giving me instructions, because there's one in particular I got my eyeball on, and there's another channel that exposed the profiteering happening off of this whole virus thing, and the power grabs going on because of that. And there's one in particular I'm gunning for. Anyway, but there's others that have also reaped the rewards of all this shenanigans, all this illusion that they've been concocting in their effort to hang on to earthly power. So, I'm going to find out what this vertical energy of fire and air is all about. So we're going to get clarifying on that energy, the vertical air and fire. We want some clarification on that. Clarification on air and fire. Yep, Lady Justice is coming a calling. The Lord of Karma. What's all this vertical? Five of Pentacles. All the air and fire vertical energy. What's this about? Two of Swords. Blind Seer. You guys up. Put these up. Kind of move these up a bit. All right. So we have the Five of Pentacles, Two of Swords. What's all this vertical air and fire all about? Wow. Okay. Two of Wands. We got two twos here. There's our Ace of Cups. And there we go with that Seven of Cups again. It is what it is. Brand new beginnings is the underlying. We repeated this Ace of Cups again. All right. The Five of Pentacles, feeling left out in the cold. And then we have the Two of Swords. This is the Blind Seer. Seeing a path no one else can see. And this is using your head over your heart. Okay? Intellectual, right? Swords, air. Blind Seer, seeing the path forward. More vertical energy going on here with these two twos and fire. Two of Wands. And this is the path to healing and emotional healing. Okay? And all these illusions, choices, right? There will be some clarity coming. And I think this is just about, Five of Pentacles. This is about the collective feeling left out in the cold, especially after what gets exposed, this truth about businessmen and what they're doing. But yeah, this feels more like kind of instructions. To gain my own inner fulfillment of mission, basically bringing that sword right there. Bringing the sword. Which causes an ending to a businessman. When Lady Justice and Karma comes a-calling, you can expect the Judgment card and then the Death card. Natural progressions. All this vertical fire energy. But it exposes the truth. Because when you pour water over that fire and air, It exposes the naked ground beneath and the truth behind the illusion. All right. So that's the reading for August 31st, 2021. I hope this helps you guys. On the microcosm, it's a very, very good reading. Not negative for the microcosm. For the macrocosm, however, karma's a coming. They think they escaped it. Trust, they didn't. Rest in that fact. The Saturn is the Lord of Karma and the timekeeper. Time's up. Have a really good one, guys, okay? More to come.